Hey guys, want to welcome you to episode 27 of the Angry Advocate podcast. My name is Ed. I am the guitar player of Death's Hand and the owner of Advocate Media.
And hi, everyone. Welcome back. I am Ash, the owner of Angry Ginger Photography. This is our second episode this week. If you're listening to this, it's hopefully the day after our episode of Soul Mirror came out. Today, we are joined by Chance Hudson. He is the vocalist of Voluntary Victim, Echoes Fade, and the owner of Hammer Productions.
How's it going, man?
Hello. How's your night?
Going well.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a busy week for us with skipping a week. So having two in 1 week is always fun. But it happens. So, yeah, exactly. But it's always great to interview people, bands, whatever we get to do. It's always a fun time. So glad we get to do it.
Yep. I have 6 interviews this week in between everything. So going back to one next week will be a nice treat, but
yeah, for sure.
A lot of talking.
Sure. Yes. But I'm excited that it's you, good friend that I've gotten to see a lot recently. So it's just like a regular night at this point. But we will hop right in. Question number 1. How long have you been doing vocals and bands for, and how long has Voluntary Victim and Echoes Fade been active?
So I've been doing vocals technically since I was like 12, so like 2009, 2010, but I couldn't scream at all. I just wanted to be Tyler Carter for like
yes
the longest time. And then I don't remember what happened, but the screamer that we had couldn't do it anymore. So then I just learned how to scream. But Echoes Fade's only been active since 2017, I think, because it's like technically an evolution of my high school band. That band was active from 2014, but it's like the same band. It's me and the drummer. We took a song from our high school band and we put it out as Echoes Fade. So it's like the same band, basically.
Yeah.
It's just like the skeleton of something you had like just ready to go.
Yeah. Exactly. Because just all our buddies went to college and everything, went to other bands. So we were like, we still want to put it out. So we just kept putting out music under Echoes Fade for a long time. And then I realized I wasn't doing as much, and we were never playing live because we never had a full band. It was always just me and Alex Brady, the drummer. And we always just found producers or friends to write guitar for us, and then we'd write drums and vocals and put it out for our whole first EP. And then the 2 songs, Crown of Teeth and Trimming Roots, were all written with just some friend or a past member of the band. And then, but we never played live. Actually, one of them did play live. The first show we ever played, we had the kid John from Canada. He came all the way from Canada to play at Sammy's patio.
That's crazy.
It was fucking insane.
That's nuts.
That like makes me think of that specific reel that's like, here's a video of Revere, Mass, and it's like a tropical, like, beach and everything. Like that's exactly what I picture like of that.
It's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Where am I?
I can't even imagine coming down from Canada to go to Sammy's to play a show, and you're like, okay. like let's just do it.
Like that was one of the most people I've seen at Sammy's, so thankfully it wasn't like
that's good. It wasn't like dead.
It was actually a pretty good night, and I gave him money before he left, so
yeah,
he was fine.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Then in 2021, I was like, I want to play more shows. I want to write more music, heavier stuff, because Echoes Fade's more metalcore, singing. And then I went on Craigslist like anybody would.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Frank posted an ad on Craigslist like, we're a deathcore band from Peabody looking for a vocalist. So I hit him up and I just showed up at their practice space, and then
You joined voluntary from Craigslist?
100%. 2021, July 2021.
That's hilarious. That's so cool. That's fucking rad.
Yeah.
Insane.
That's like really old school to be happening in 2021.
Exactly.
Like, that's fucking crazy.
I was looking anywhere, any Facebook groups I could find that had people like looking for vocalists or whatever, because
That's so
everybody that starts a band is the vocalist. So it's like
yeah.
everywhere online, it's just I'm looking for a guitar player, looking for a drummer. It's never we need a vocalist. It's always I'm the vocalist and I need a band.
Yeah,
So
usually.
I ended up on Craigslist because I was like, there's a whole section on there for like music or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Frank obviously probably didn't. I don't even think he had a Facebook until I made him get one.
That's crazy.
So that's the only way he knew to get an ad out
that's
there.
Fucking nuts. That's so crazy.
So them three met, like, I think through recovery a while back, and then they just decided they wanted to do a band. So they were playing for a little while together, and then they wanted to get a full band. So he put the ad out.
That's so cool.
And
that's awesome.
They didn't expect to be a real band at all. But the first day I came, I'm like, this is going to be a real band. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a logo immediately and make social media, and you have to get a Facebook and post everything.
Yeah, right. Like
they were like, we're all for it. They just never expected it, and then now they're always like, this is awesome. We're in a real band. This is sick.
Yeah. Like looking at like the work that you like all of you put in, but like so like looking at everything that you do, like that's insane to see how like voluntary unfolded.
What cool. I was just about to say, that's really cool because I see quite a lot about your band, and just to hear that's how like really everything
I did not know this.
that kind of blows my mind a little bit. It's super fucking cool. That's awesome. And the fact that like
I didn't know anything. I showed up to the practice space in Malden. I think we played Spirit Box, Holy Roller. That's the only song they told me to learn. And then I showed up, we played that, and then they just played whatever they had. I just screamed over it, and they're like, yeah, you're in. This is sick. And I'm like, cool.
Cool. Great.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We've been family ever since. They're like the coolest people.
That's so cool.
Which you wouldn't expect from Craigslist. I expected to be just crazy people, but I wanted to do something. I was like, I don't care.
That's crazy. It's funny because like I've tried out for a couple bands before, and just think like I'm trying to think about the times where I've tried out for bands and I've gone to like a practice space I've never been to. I'm, hanging out with people who I've never hung out with, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and it's an interesting dynamic to jump into, especially if you're like, you've got 3 or 4 guys who are tightly knit and you're the guy coming in not knowing anybody, exactly. Especially from a Craigslist ad. Like, you're coming in kind of like, I have no idea what this is going to feel like. I have no idea what this is going to be like. Like I could go in and go, nope. You know what I mean? Like, you literally could have gotten there and been like, I'm out. Like, instantly, and the fact that it worked out the way that it did. And I mean, obviously you guys are doing really cool things. Like, like I've never, like, my band's never played with your band. I've never been to a show, but I've heard enough about what you guys have done. Say,
we might have played.
No, we haven't. Have we?
I think so. Maybe.
No, we haven't.
Jewel?
Possibly.
Oh, maybe Jewel. If it was Jewel, I was so out of that show, I don't remember.
Was it Great American Ghost?
So we played. So we played the holiday.
Hardcore Fest.
Holiday.
Yeah, the holiday Hardcore Fest.
Yeah.
Were you really? Okay, so like
but I was 100 bands on that.
There were like 50 bands on there. And I was over to the side, and we were literally there the entire time, and we headlined. So like, I don't remember anything because I was so mad that we were there for so long. I don't blame you at all. I barely remember any of the bands that played. Okay, so we played a show. Cool. but like I probably literally was zoned out in the corner, half asleep. Like I was so mad. I'm
I
like,
get it, dude. I totally get it.
why? Like
That was the first time we met, Ed.
it was like, why am I there at noon when we're playing at 10:30? Like,
Yeah, true.
or whenever. Like, I'm like not cool. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's-
not like.
Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so we played a show together, but I don't remember it because I was probably half asleep over in one
That
of the
was
little
really
bars.
early on
Yeah,
when we started too. So
Yeah.
it was like,
yeah, and I remember Chokeout played that show. I remember I heard about Rose Lane at that show, and they
Yep.
played out back. Rat Blood played that, right?
that was Rat Blood, Bleach
And
Temple,
Bleach
Iron
Temple.
Gate.
Yeah.
Deep Fear was still active.
Yep.
Bag, Husk, Shape Thrower, Shoot All Cops, and TFR.
Man,
There's a few there's like 4
That's
redacted. Like I know Chokeout was one of them.
Yeah,
Which
Chokeout was.
yeah, I remember.
that
Yeah.
that I remember that show being messed up because Chokeout was backlining and they were on first of that entire
Yeah.
like show.
Yeah.
So they have to wait all day for their stuff.
Yeah, that was a weird show. I just remember waiting for so long, and like I didn't think about it. I'm like, yeah, we got to like load in, and then like we show up, and then like, yeah, you're headlining, and I'm like, what? Like, okay, I literally think we waited 10 hours to play. Like it was insane. I'm holy crap. Like, bleh.
Crazy.
So my fault that I totally didn't see you play, but I was literally over in the corner like, fuck life, this sucks. Like okay, so now we actually have to play a show together where there's like 3 or 4 bands, and then I can actually watch you and pay attention and not be mad. But anyway, like the fact that you went through all of that stuff to kind of like curve back, the fact that you went through all that stuff and you guys are doing such cool things now, and like obviously you guys must be tight from I don't know the circumstances, but like I can tell just by you talking, like you guys are tight, like you kind of found a good fit. Like that's a really cool story. Like I don't know, it's interesting because it doesn't always work that way. Like I've tried out for bands and felt like things were fine and then ended up not being in them, or like tried out for bands and I was like, that audition went like shit, and then I was in the band. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just it's crazy, that specific kind of thing you have to go through to kind of figure out, like, is this going to work out? Like, does this work out? Like, and just the dynamics of the band, and the fact that it did is really cool. That's a cool story. Just like I don't know. That's especially where they thought it wasn't going to work out. That's even cool too. They're like, maybe we could be a real band, and it's like, okay, but you are a real band now.
Yeah,
and
like
you're a really good real band. So like, I don't know. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah, the amount of bands that we've seen come and go since we've started is crazy, or even just like have totally different members now since we met them before. It's crazy. The cycle is like, and it feels weird to be one of the only bands that like we've been the same since day one.
Same founding members.
Yeah. And that's awesome. It's super hard to find that core group of people that you can really just do anything with,
I mean, we've definitely argued, don't get me wrong, but
I'm sure. It's the same thing with Death's Hand. Like, we started off as a separate band. We split with 2 other guys. We ended up, me and Kyle, our guitar player, ended up kind of rebranding but keeping the songs that we had. And then we found our core. And don't get me wrong, I'll be the first one to tell you, like, we've had arguments in our band. We've had things in our band that has not gone to plan. Like, Ash knows this. Like, there's things that happen where you either can't control it or things happen. But as long as you're able to have an open communication and explain things to people and kind of understand the situation, and that you're all in it for, whatever each person is in it for, right? Yeah. And you can have those conversations and everybody understands that and doesn't take it personally, then you can kind of like let things unfold. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love band dynamics. As hard as they can be or as easy as they can be, I love band dynamics. It's crazy. It's like being married to 4 or 5 other dudes. And, like,
Exactly what it is.
yeah, you literally have, like, 4 other man wives you have to fucking take care of, and it's
Exactly.
like, whatever. Like, as long as everybody can understand and talk, like, I love all the guys in my band. Every one of us has an issue. You know what I mean? Like, we all have issues. You know what I mean? And I love every single one of them, and I have their back 110%. You know what I mean? Unless it's something that's real off my moral compass. But other than that, I have your back 110%.
I
And it's
agree.
like, as long as you have that and you're comfortable with who you're with in a band, like, I don't know, I feel like you can really make things grow, you
It
know?
goes
And,
along
like,
with
yeah, yeah. And from what I can tell with the amount of shows you guys are playing and what you're putting out, you guys definitely have a solid base. You guys know what you want to accomplish, and you're pushing towards that, you know, which is super cool. It's
Oh,
so great to see.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. We'll jump right into question 2 after this. Can you tell us what Hammer Productions offers? Like, just in general, like the overall scheme
Yeah.
of how you kind
So
of have
I
things.
just used it as kind of like my alias for, my like right now it's mainly just design stuff, like merch design, stuff like that. But I made it Productions the name because I'm hoping to turn it into something like not like full on management, but something where like you can buy a package from me where I run your whole like rollout and something like that. Like I want to build it into something more than just merchandise,
Yep.
where like I can run Facebook ads, stuff like that for people. Just help them. People that are really beginners, that like have no idea what they're doing. I can like get your ball rolling.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm like building that, building the website and all that stuff. And so mainly right now it's just merch designs, but I'm hoping to grow it into something more like a full production company style, doing
Nice.
something in the
Yeah.
music industry, because that's what I want to do in general.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a really well, I don't want to say it's hard. If you're in a band and you've experienced what you have to go through with those specific things, I think it's kind of like second nature. You know what I
Exactly.
mean?
Yeah.
So like I screen print t-shirts. I've been doing it for over 25 years, right?
Hell
Like I have crazy experience with screen printing t-shirts. So I do most of our merch design and screen printing stuff. Um, I've been in bands, so I put on shows. You know what I mean? Like, I learned photography through college and also through Ash and a couple other people, right? Like
Mhm.
asking, kind of learning stuff. And so it's like I feel like if you're in it a little bit, it makes things a lot easier. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Or if you have a graphics background and you're doing graphics, like you
Yeah.
can kind of, slowly kind of urge your way forward to kind of figure out where you want to be and kind of how you want things to work. So
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's yeah, and I feel like like you said, you kind of want to help people who are newer to it, which like I feel like if you're not used to playing shows or doing merch for your bands or whatever, it's nice to have someone who can kind of be like, here's the lowdown. You know what I mean? Like this
Yeah.
is the small, easy stuff that you can
If
do.
someone's literally like, how many shirts do I even buy? It's like some people don't even know like anything. It's like,
Right.
come to me. I want to be somebody that can do that for people
Yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to be able to build, a portfolio and stuff before I actually like full on dive
Push
into it.
forward.
So I don't want to be somebody people look at and they're just like, the fuck's this guy?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Was your work show exactly?
Yeah. It definitely takes a little bit of time and effort, and like you said, like you want to put out a good product, right? Like you know what I mean? Like you don't want to come out here and go like, I do all this, and then you like fall short, so
Exactly.
it's cool that you have put sort of boundaries on yourself, right? You're like, I know I'm going to start at this level, even if it's low or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to start here. I'm going to kind of push myself in a certain direction, see where it goes, and slowly grow yourself. Like that's, you know what I mean? That's
my plan. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Because I don't want to overpromise. A lot. I've been victim of so many of these people that just tell you, I can get you this, I can get you that, and you give them all this money, and they go like, oh, I can't do anything. It's like, oh, okay,
right.
cool.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
did you tell me you could do all this stuff if you can't
Right.
do anything?
Yeah,
I want to be sure I can do this stuff for people and
yeah,
like really know what I'm doing, and I'm not going to take people's money and not be able to give them something back. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, it's a hard industry to get into. Like I've done every band that I've ever been, I've done merch for. I've done merch for other bands. I've done merch for, a lot of tattoo artists in Maine. I've done that, and my family's business we've been around for almost 50 years now. So
Wow.
we've been screen printing for almost 50 years, which is
That's sick.
is a lot. Like in the screen printing world, that's a long time. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's definitely doing it's not necessarily merch, but just like, products for people. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like construction, movie theaters, bands, whatever. It's all the same thing,
It
really.
sucks to say it, but like at the end of the day, our music is just an ad for our clothing brand. It's like
Yeah. Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
we're just a clothing brand at the end of the day.
But the cool thing is to come up and I'm gonna kind of tie this into our previous episode that we shot last night with Soul Mirror, talking about like the aesthetic of your band too, right? So like they have a specific aesthetic specifically because of their masks and how they look and whatever, which is cool, but it also kind of it ties in with merch too, like what your logo looks like, what you decide to put out for merch, like um and so it's cool to have that like creative side of kind of like, what am I going to do for, you know, these designs, our band wants to look like what are, you know what I mean? It's a fun thing to kind of, push forward. And especially if you're trying to do merch for other bands or newer bands, like that's got to be kind of a fun thing, because you're like kind of interacting with bands and trying to put their, you know, how do I explain it? Like to put their first logo forward, right? Like it's like, oh, like I'm trying, like if you guys are this specific kind of music, what do you want your logo to look like? Oh, I want to look like this, or like we want, designs that look like this. Like it's always cool to kind of like have that power to kind of push another band forward, or kind of, I don't know, make their mark, you know what I mean? By
Yeah,
whatever their logo
I
is.
love the idea of helping someone build their identity like that. It's
Yeah.
like and giving them the tips of how to make things cohesive and keep everything looking the same, and you want everything to be. I mean, VV's a little chaotic sometimes, but most of our stuff is pretty like the same. Everything's pretty the same. People take our pictures all the time. You guys come out to shows, take pictures for us all the time. We love you guys. So all our pictures look the same. Everything, everything's consistent. I do all the art and the merch and everything, so that stays consistent. And I think it helps a lot, because when you're out here and everything just looks like
cohesive,
took it off Google whenever every way, it's like nobody knows what you sound like, and they're not going to listen to find out.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, I definitely think, especially with local bands, like I look at, not when I necessarily see them live, but like when they post online, I definitely, and I think most people do, when you look at stuff and what they post online, like, do their photos look consistent? Do the merch that they post, do those look like cool, right? Like it's and that's obviously subjective, but you people look at that, right? Like that's an important thing. Like, you know, like does this look like this? Does this look like this? Does the designs that they have, do those look like the type of genre that they're in? You know what I mean? Like if it doesn't work, then people are less likely to be like, oh yeah, I'm down with that. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to have your ducks in a row for people to, even if your music is good, if you're putting out weird posts, you know, like people might be like,
Yeah. Mhm.
maybe they don't know what they're doing. Like it's all intertwined. I don't
Mhm.
know. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to have some type of cohesive brand that you're pushing forward.
For
This
sure.
kind of popped up over the weekend. Chance and I were at the Multiple Pieces, the Graying Iron Gate show, and I pointed to a shirt that Iron Gate had on their table, and I'm like, Chance, can you tell me who made this? And I knew, like, both of us
It
knew
wasn't
looking at
even him.
who did it.
He said it was some other guy. I was like, oh shit.
That's
Interesting.
crazy.
But it looked just like Evan.
Yeah, like Evan, like all the like usually like people's like shirts like look all the same, so like you can look at it and know that it's usually one of well, I'll now say three
Yeah.
people because it was not the two that I thought. Okay, say I'm
Interesting.
gonna get an answer on this before the end of the podcast, but
Yeah.
but yeah, exactly that is like for even like yes bands, but even like graphic designers, like it doesn't matter who you're doing the work for, like having like almost your signature like that, people know it's you no matter what.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And a lot of the stuff, like, I mean, I, I'm going to be brutally honest, like the stuff that we have for our band, like I have so many t-shirts that we have not sold. And that's probably because I did the art. And I am not the best. I actually, I love our shirts. I think our shirts are awesome. However, it comes to a point where it comes down to like, you need to have a little bit of something else. And like, yeah, I don't do a lot of the artwork for a lot of the shirts that we print. I do some stuff like simple text stuff with this and here. I can do that. But when it comes to like specifically like band merch where you
Mhm.
have to create something from scratch,
Yeah.
like not really in my wheelhouse. You know what I mean? Like it's just not.
Yeah.
I typically just print the shirts. We have an artist who does everything else. So I
Right.
I have some art background. I have some, you know, some stuff that we do, but like at the end of the day, and I've seen a lot of people post about this lately, specifically with um flyers for bands. A lot of people have been posting like, get an actual person who knows how to do what they're doing, blah blah blah. Like I've seen
Right.
so many people in the last like 2 weeks post about that. And it's like it's the same thing with merch designs. It's the same thing with merch design. Like pay somebody to do your merch, don't do it yourself, blah blah, like, you know, whatever. Everyone's on their pedestal saying whatever they
I'm
want
all
to
for
say.
doing it yourself if you learn how to do it first.
Correct. Yeah, and I have Illustrator and Photoshop experience quite a bit, but I'm not as creative of a person when it comes to building things from scratch. I can do it. I am just not as creative as like some people who specifically do that for a living. You know what I mean? And I don't create designs for a living. I print designs for a living. So it's there's a difference. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely a difference. So it's like sometimes you kind of have to like let go of the reins and give them to the people who actually like do this every day for a living, you know,
Yeah.
and have that kind of creative background where
That's
they
like
can like
honestly
push
what
that
we
forward.
fight about the most is I'm wicked stubborn. Like I'll make something that I love and they're like, meh. And I'm like,
How dare you?
God
and
damn
then
it.
they always pick the one that took me 5 minutes. And I'm like,
But
I
do
took
you
3 hours to make that one, and that one's my favorite. Nobody likes it.
At that point you just need to make your own like clothing brand and just like release it as that. Like you
Everything
guys don't pick this, cool. It's going in the clothing
it's
brand.
fine.
Like,
I should do that.
I'm taking it.
A lot
Like,
of times, what I'll do is I'll just, especially if it's something related to a song or something, I'll just throw it on the website with like print to order, We only print stuff they want to print,
Yeah.
like actually spend our money on it. Because I can throw shit on the website and people order it. It gets printed. It gets sent.
Right.
We don't see it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
which
do that
makes it easier. Yeah.
with designs they don't like. I'm just like, I like it, and I think people might buy it. So
we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And imagine you're playing one of your shows like somewhere someday, and then there's the shirt that only you liked, and everyone's like, "Where is this coming
Where the hell
from?"
did that come from?
3 shirts from our website that I think literally one person has, like, anywhere. And I'm always like, hey, somebody bought it.
One-offs. That's great, right? Like
it's
maybe
cool.
maybe
Someone that shirt's gonna be worth something one day, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best part about it. There's so many shirts. There's so many shirts that I've printed that have been one-offs, and I'm like, one person in this world is gonna have that one day. Like, I donated it to Goodwill because it didn't go to the client, so that's a one-off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one's gonna have that except for that one person. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's awesome.
Fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Love that.
Question 3: Who are some of your favorite local bands right now? Our favorite question.
Tough. I have so many friends.
You can name every single one. We can be here for a half hour. Go to town.
Obviously, Devitalized, the homies that we toured with. They're the best. Iron Gate, we love Iron Gate. We love Death's Hand. Honestly, Billy's a big Death's Hand guy.
We definitely have to play another show together.
Yeah, we do for sure.
That'd be rad.
We love The Last King. Chances in Echoes Fade Now from The Last King. We love The Last King. Actually, Tommy's in Echoes Fade Now too from Devitalized.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's
rad. Gonna be like a super group at this point.
Okay, time out. So you know what we're gonna do? I'm already gonna make this happen. So one, Ash, this is.
Wait, can we do a Weekender, Maine, and Bad Burger?
Just wait. So I was thinking about doing an Angry Advocate show. So like a show that is podcast related. So we should do one where it's Death's Hand, Voluntary Victim, Echoes Fade, and Devitalized. That'd be rad.
That'd be sick. I would do that.
Like, the people would have to play triple duty or like double duty on some of that, but like, if they're down,
worth it.
Anyway, we'll talk about that at the end of the podcast. But that would be rad.
That'd be sick.
That would be
insane.
That would be actually. You know what? We might be able to do a Bad Burger and Mulligan's thing in Biddeford.
That would be sick.
So do a weekender where we like kind of a weekender, a 2-day.
Like
do like a Manchester Mulligan's thing.
That'd
okay.
Be
that's pinned.
Book it. Yeah.
That's pinned. I've got that. We'll remember that.
Yeah.
But anyway, keep going.
I have my dates in September. We'll look at those.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many good bands, dude. Rose Lane's insane. Lanterns is good. Edgin's good. Fathom Farewell's good. I've listened to them since I was young. We love them. Fucking like every New England band is good. Soul Mirror is sick. I love Soul Mirror.
Yeah.
Echoes Fade just played with them at the Palladium the other day.
Nice.
Oh yeah, they were just talking about that.
There's so many good bands. Cytokine's awesome.
Eric.
I mean, I don't know if they're a local band there. They kind of surpassed that already, maybe.
I mean,
they're from here, so they're local.
Eric's gonna hear this. He's gonna be like, "I'm a local band. Don't do this to me."
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think they're definitely on that, like, on the cusp. You know what I mean? Like, I would still say they are.
It's everything that with them and the 5-9 that's just also created like for this scene at the same time.
I was about to say, like, it's
so many good bands.
Yeah, they're definitely like part of that. I don't know. You can't not include them. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those bands that, like, you can't just say like, oh, they're kind of a big band now. Like, no, like they're part of all of that. You know what I mean?
Great American Ghost part of it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and even with Great American Ghost being like, they're bigger,
huge.
I would still put them in that realm. You know what I mean? Like they're yeah, I would still and they're much larger than some of the other bands that you just mentioned. You know
True.
what I mean? But like I would definitely include them for sure, you know.
On the
Yeah,
Echo
huge.
side, we like to play with Sync with Me and
Yep.
Empty Balls. They're cool. And
Yeah,
Abandon. We
that's the
love
nice sweet
Travis.
spot.
Sync with Me is great. Dakota, the drummer, I know him very well. I know the bass player. I know Evan. We interviewed Evan, but I know Dakota very well.
They're all cool.
Dakota's great.
So many
Great.
good bands I could go on all day.
Yeah. That's why I love doing this podcast, is because there's so many cool friend, bands and people that we all get to kind of like come together and just talk about. And it's I don't know. It's so cool. Like
It is cool.
there are differences between bands and people and things happen, and I freaking get it. It happens. But overall, I feel like this is the most camaraderie between bands that there has been in quite some time.
I would 100% agree.
It's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. And I get that, right? Like, not everybody is going to, mesh together.
Never.
It's not going to happen.
Nope.
But I would say it is the most healthy. There might be an asterisk next to that. But I feel like it is the most healthy that the local scene, has been in quite some time.
I agree, for sure.
You know what I mean? And I think that's...
And everybody's growing like more than they would have before. Like when I was first on the scene, like there was like 20 local bands maybe. Like there's like 50 to 100 now. Like there's just
it's insane.
The scene's been just growing like crazy. I love it.
Awesome. It's insane. And especially like, I mean, here up in Maine, there's a crazy DIY punk scene. And I'm not talking like hardcore and metal. I'm specifically like just punk. Like it's insane. If you look at any of the smaller venues here in Maine, the Epiphaedian or whatever that's in Portland, like they have these crazy like crust punk, like DIY punk shows that like some of the bands that play in these are incredible. Like I mean really, really, really good. And it's insane just to see. I mean, I kind of have blinders on because I'm in that like metalcore, deathcore, hardcore realm, right? So like I really
I don't know punk for shit.
Yeah, it's I do because I've purposely looked for it. But if I didn't, I'd have my blind, like I wouldn't know they exist, right? But it's crazy because I look at these videos of these like straight up DIY punk bands, and I'm like, there's more people going to those shows than Death's Hand shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's crazy. And like house shows, like it's insane. It's crazy. And
I go to the Palladium all the time, and I see like I went to the Boundaries Plot new show the other day, and I'm like, where are all these people when we play? Like these people like metalcore, heavy metalcore. Where are they? Where do they live? Because they never come.
It's
so
it's one of those things where it's a love-hate relationship with fans sometimes. And I do not mean that in a negative way. I really don't. It's just one of those things where local bands are not going to get the same attention, as much effort and passion that you put into your project. And don't get me wrong, there's the only genre that I would say in Maine where that is incorrect is hardcore. You go to any hardcore show in Portland or Biddeford, and it is absolutely packed every single time. Gumscab could play every Saturday, and they would sell out every show every Saturday. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, people are so into specifically hardcore music at this point. We're like, and they're homies. I love them. I'm not saying anything negative about them whatsoever.
Maine in August. I
Nice.
believe.
Nice.
I
And,
think
like-
it's Lanterns. If I'm not mistaken.
Could be.
I'm excited for that. I've never played Maine.
I was gonna say I think that's not our show because I didn't ask you guys to play. I thought about asking you guys to play, but I didn't. I don't know why, but I didn't.
Say, isn't yours July?
We're playing a show with it's us. It's at Mulligan's actually. It's us. I don't think I've announced this either, but I don't really care.
That's why I don't want to say what it is because I don't know if it's announced.
That's fine. That's
I'm pretty sure playing Maine.
Yeah, we're playing a show. It's us, Lanterns, Dead in Your Eyes, and I'm blanking on the other band. But anyway, that hasn't been announced yet. But
Maine has a ton of good bands.
Yeah. There's a lot of really cool. This weekend we're playing Maine Metal and Hardcore Fest. Up in Holden, up near Bangor. We're playing that with it's a lot of bands from that general area, which technically 2 of our members are from Bangor. So that's a hometown show for us. Not me. I have to drive 2.5 hours, but
and you're already in Maine, right?
Huh?
And you're already in Maine?
Yeah, I'm already in Maine and I have to drive 2.5 hours.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. But that'll be a fun show. But yeah, it's Maine's got a lot of good bands. Not as many venues to play at now, especially for more like, bands in our specific kind of, level. But we make the best of it. We do what we can. You know what I mean? Like,
I always see cool Maine shows.
Yeah. It's one of those things where it's just you do what you have to do to create it and make it happen.
I'm very tempted to go to Killswitch on Saturday.
I want to go. I'm
also Bad Burger.
You're like, there's so many options.
That's always the thing. Is going the local versus the big show, and my heart will always pick local, but I also want to see Killswitch Engage with all
It seems like a lot of people. That's why I like our scene up here in New Hampshire, because most people up here
They'd rather support each other. Yeah.
Going down to the Palladium or something like that.
Yeah.
Like when we played with Iron Gate the other day, the Paleface was at the Palladium and we still had a good crowd. So
that's awesome.
Cool. I was dead that day. That was day 3. And that was the thing, is the amount of people that I had seen all 3 days at Bad Burger still at your show. Like, we were there all exhausted, but worth it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I looked like shit that day.
I looked like it happens. It happens. That's awesome. Cool. We're gonna jump into question 4. How was your tour experience this year?
Tour was a blast. I mean, we had some show cancellation, stuff like that. So, like, if we were negative, we would maybe be really mad about it. But we had a blast. It didn't matter. Yeah. Like, ended up with a bunch of days off. We got to just hang out and chill and talk. Vacation. We're super close to Devitalize now because we were just together the whole time.
Yeah.
And the shows we did play were killer. So sick.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Kickoff was like crazy. I think we had 89 people in there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome.
A Middle East, insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy to think kind of like I don't need a lot of people to be in a show to be happy with how the show ends up.
It's all about energy, how people are reacting to the music. If there's 5 people in there and they stand there, then maybe I'll be a little sad. But if there's 5 people in there and they're going absolutely nuts, I'm still going to be happy because that's all I care about.
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things where I'm happiest when I'm doing what I enjoy. And even if other people aren't enjoying it, if I'm enjoying it, that's what matters to me. obviously getting interactions from other people makes and validates what you're doing, right? So then it kind of like doubles down on that specific, like,
Yeah, for sure.
feeling or whatever, which is great. But like, I don't know. And I've said this and I'll say it before, like, I play music for myself. It's a super selfish thing to say, but at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to do something I don't enjoy, right? And it's like but however, if you can then turn the people who are watching you into fans or into people who are maybe not even fans, but just maybe feel a certain part in a song, or see that other people are interacting and then engage in that, you've made, even if it's for 30 seconds, you've made an impact on someone.
Exactly.
So then that validates, said interaction. You know what I mean? Like, so it's yeah. I love the intricacies of being in a band and playing shows. And it's like, at this point in time, I don't necessarily care if I get like a full, like, everyone's moving, everyone's doing this. Like, obviously it makes it better. But at the end of the day, like, I get to take a break from what I'm doing. I get to go somewhere. I get to hang out with friends. I get to play an instrument that I love. And you know what I mean?
Really
And I get
music, yeah.
exactly. It's like, at the end of the day, I can't be mad no matter what the situation is.
I honestly went on the tour fully in the mindset we're going to play to 5 people every other state we play in.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows who we are. And
Yeah.
you were there. New York was probably the least we had. I think it was like 25 people.
Yeah.
And that's still like not bad at all for us. That's
it was still a great show. The energy was insane. Paradigms was freaking insane. Like, but that package
we're doing
was
WWE moves in the friggin' pit. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
I broke myself. That was my knee is still like, I'm bad now. Like, I just yesterday in the grocery store, like, went to turn and like it's bad. I'm probably gonna have to get an MRI finally on Monday from Chance's show on January 3rd in Brooklyn. Yeah, Billy and Jay Clark had to carry me out because I could just not. Leg was gone. It was great, but worth it.
It's definitely. I don't know. I love being in bands. I love playing in bands. I love seeing bands. I don't know. It will never get old. As small or as big as a show that I go to, it just never gets old to me.
I talked about that with my dad the other day. I'm like, it doesn't matter what happens with anything. One of my bands is still going to be around forever. Like, I'm not going to just stop.
Yeah.
If we don't make it, like, I'm still going to play.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Oh, we didn't make it. It's over. I give up. Never playing music again. No. That's a crazy.
It takes a lot for me to not want to play. I took a break for a while because I was kicked out of a band that I was super passionate about. So that killed me. Like, to have 4 other people say, we don't want you in the band, that was really hard, right? Like, so that killed my want to be in a band. And so I took a break for a while because I needed to, right? I'm like, well, shit, if these people don't want me in a band, why am I in a band? I shouldn't be in a band, So it was like one of those things. But looking back on it now, I understand some things and some reasons why things were brought up, and I get it. So it's like, okay, cool. Like, not that I forgive the whole situation, because I don't, but you kind of understand specific things and you go, okay, that happened for a reason. I took a break for a reason. And now I'm older. I am a little more mature. I'm with people who are more mature. I can kind of make, some changes, figure out the band stuff, and as dysfunctional as my band is, and we are, there's no doubt about it. And I love every single one. And if any of you are watching, I love all of you. But we are dysfunctional. We're not perfect, but we understand each other. We get where each other's coming from, and we make mistakes and learn. All of us, every single one of us has made a mistake, and we've learned from it. And it's like that's the most important thing. Is like if we can take everything as a band and move forward, and just even if it's an inch, you know what I mean? That's what's important, is just figure out what we all want to do and move forward in the most positive way possible.
Being able to be an adult and just take accountability for what happened and say, we're sorry.
Yeah.
Let's move forward is like,
yeah,
that's the key to everything. It's like, just be an adult. We're not kids. We're not in high school.
Yeah.
We know when we did something wrong. Man up to it. Say you're sorry. It's over with. Everybody forgives you.
And we've all been in fights with one another. You know what I mean? Like I'm closest with my guitar player, like, and him and I have definitely had some points where like I've had to call him on the phone and talk to him and do, you know, hash shit out, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like practically a blood brother with me. You know what I mean? And it's like, so it's like, that's one of those things where it's like, you have to have the difficult conversations to have the easy conversations, you know? So it's like, as long as you're able to do that and understand where everyone's coming from, and yes, it's personal, but at the same time, it's not. You know what I mean? Like
I've really learned that, like, as an adult, like, very little of what people do, they're thinking about anybody but themselves. They don't care about you. Nobody cares about you. They're not thinking about you.
Yeah.
And you have to realize that, and you'll a lot changes in your brain when you realize they probably didn't do that on purpose. They didn't even think of me.
No, they probably weren't. They're more concerned about how they look and what they're doing, and not that they're like self-absorbed, but it's they don't want to put out. I mean, some people, it's probably because they're self-absorbed.
It's just human nature, though. Everybody, you know, if something doesn't affect my life to a certain point, it's like,
I'm not going to worry about it.
Really? No. It's like, it's just, that's human nature. It's not anything to hold against anybody. It's just something you learn.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. And I'm going to kind of backtrack a little bit but what you said with going on tour, the fact that you said, like, you know, we might play in front of 5 people every night. Like, the fact that you even thought about that also shows kind of maturity, right? You're like, we might play in front of like no one, but you want to know what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
And that's an expectation that you put for yourself. Not that you put a low expectation for yourself, but you were truthful to yourself. You know what I mean? You're like, not that you guys are a nobody band, but like you're a you're a smaller band. Death's Hand is a smaller band. If we were going to tour, we'd probably play in front of nobody. Like, I know that, you know? So it's like, if you have that expectation where you're like, yeah, we're a band. Yeah, we're doing some cool things. Some people know who we are. But if we're going to go on a multiple state tour, are we going to play in front of a bunch of people? Probably not. You know, like, it's probably not going to happen. But the fact that you kind of had that expectation ahead of time shows that
I had to do,
you know what I mean?
I mean, it wasn't like convincing because they wanted to go on tour, but, you know, I'm the only one that is as young as I am who can, like, kind of just up and say, I'm going. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I'm going. They can't do that. You know, they all have wives, jobs, kids. So it's like, I had to prepare them. I'm like, if we're doing this, we're doing it basically just to go on vacation with each other and have a good time, play our music. I'm confident we're going to be successful, and that's why we're buying merch and doing this stuff, because I'm confident. But don't expect anything. If we're going, all you can expect is to have a good time, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or we're going to be disappointed. So I was like, I have to set that for them right off the bat. I'm like, it's possible that we sacrifice what we have to sacrifice to do this and nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's totally possible.
Yeah, 1,000%.
But it's going to be worth it regardless, just
Yeah.
for the experience. And they even afterwards, we all said that was like the best time we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
So regardless of anything, that was a blast. What are you doing, buddy?
He's like trying to get close to Dad. That's what.
He's like, you're taking too long.
Yeah,
No.
it's definitely I have yet to go on any sort of tour or weekender, which I have to experience. I need to go through that. That's just a thing that like I just need to check off my list, even if it's, you know, small or whatever. I need to do something along those lines. Just be like, I at least did this. I tried this, you know, like, and not that, you know, Death's Hand as a band is not expecting to get signed and tour and like that's not really what we're about. Would it be cool? Yeah, it'd be rad. But that's not what we're necessarily looking for. But personally, myself, I want to be able to say like, oh, I've done a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. I've done a, you know, whatever, you know what I mean? Just to go out, spend some time with some friends. Obviously they'd be my band, but like, you know, play 3 days, do something, you know what I mean? And just have a good time within those 3 days to be able to do that, you know?
And then selfishly, like even in the future, it's cool just to be able to say my band went on tour. Like,
right, exactly. Even if it was for 3 or 4 days, right? Exactly. Like we
went on tour.
We did a back-to-back thing.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like
exactly.
It's just cool. You know,
yeah.
we did it. Not many people can say they just sucked it up and did it. And I think that's a lot of, you know, the bigger bands will say, you know, you got to pay your dues. You got to pay your dues. And like, to me, that's what it is. It's just saying, you know, we're going to have to suck it up, even if it sucks. We have to do it.
Yeah.
And we're definitely going to do another one. But, you know, it's kind of just like, it's probably going to be next year, you know, because they need a little time to, it's got to like wear off. And then once our thing's full again, boom.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely get it. I've got 2 kids. I'm married. I'm working way too much. Like I totally understand.
Struggle to get 4 people. Actually, we ended up with 5 because we had to take Jim Jam because our bassist couldn't go. He couldn't go the whole thing because it was like 12 days. He could only go 5.
Yeah.
So he rented a car. I think, where were we? I think we might have still been in Virginia, and he rented a car and drove back.
Yeah.
On the
Did
5th
the 2 days, was it his 2 days that were canceled?
One of his days was canceled.
One of James.
Ohio. And then one of
James was Virginia. Yeah.
But
which I love the Camel.
They let us play. Did you stay and watch? Were you there when they let us play?
So I didn't. I only did Brooklyn, but I was supposed to go to the Camel. One of my best friends lives literally like around the corner. Like I saw, who was it? I saw a show at that venue back in May of last year, and that place is sick.
The owner was wicked cool. Like. We couldn't blame anybody for that. The pipe burst. The whole city had no water, so like they legally couldn't open. But we were sound checked and we were like ready to sound check, and then they were like, "We can't do the show." But the guy said, "You know, we paid the sound guy already. You're set up. If you want to just practice, you can just practice." So we got to play a set with Jim Jam in front of nobody.
Let's go. Okay, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, that's rad. That's rad.
It was cool. It was very cool. The guy, he's like, I'm staying anyway, and like we can't get in trouble because I own it. I just can't let people in.
Anybody in? Yeah. It's like a personal concert for him, pretty much.
Yeah, he was like, whatever, go ahead. And we were
that's
like,
fucking rad.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's got to be. That's a cool experience. And even if you played in front of the fucking bar owner, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and
technically,
right? Yeah, exactly. Like that's cool to just be able to do that and just be, you know what I mean? Like, that's
one
really
of the
cool,
coolest things was Did you ever play for Dante at Sammy's Patio? Back in the day, before Eduardo ran it. So before Eduardo, it was Dante who was doing basically what Eduardo does, books the shows at Sammy's. He left Sammy's because he moved to North Carolina and opened his own venue, and we played that venue. So that was so sick.
That's so cute.
I'm out. Question: did Dante play in a band?
Yeah, he was in Before the Judge, I believe.
Okay, I know who that is. Okay, that's Dante, really cool. Yeah. So that's great. As soon as you said that his name, I was like, I think I know who you're talking about. Like, so
he runs Chapel of Bones
that's cool
in Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's cool.
Oh, okay, I follow him. Okay.
Yeah, he's the man.
Yeah.
That was so sick to be able to like go see him and play his venue somewhere else was like wicked cool.
That's cool. That's really cool.
That's awesome.
That's definitely full circle. That's that's really cool.
And if you can get to the spot, go to the spot in Florida, but you might get punched. Just a fair warning.
You might get punched.
Oh, you played with Lilith's Demise. That's right. Oh my God.
And they covered No Pity for a Coward, and I wanted to kick somebody.
That's funny. That's awesome.
But Florida scene is insane. They're like
that's all
crazy.
I've heard the Florida scene isn't absolutely.
It was cool when you're on stage.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah.
That's the thing. If I continued with my knee, like I would have actually been broken by the end of the tour.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would have been worth it.
I think I saw. So we played a band that is really, really good. We played one show with them in Old Orchard Beach, Slam Witch.
Oh,
so
yes,
Slam Witch is fucking incredible. So
I forgot to mention them earlier. They're one of the best.
So they went down. I think they did a tour down to Florida and back.
I think they did. I think it was Lilith's Demise too. Actually.
It was,
yeah.
That's how I heard about Lilith's Demise.
Yeah, so like I watched the videos that they had posted from the Florida shows, and I was like, holy fucking shit! Like,
it's like down there.
Yeah, just to think, like, it's like this is like a local New England band going down to Florida, and that's what they dealt with. Like, that's insane. And like, don't get me wrong, like, Slam Witch is absolutely incredible. Like, I stood at the back of the room when they played OOB when we played with them in Maine, and I was like, they are so tight as a band, like stupidly tight. Like, I really hope they go somewhere. Like, I really hope they like make it because they totally could. Like, they really could, and they put in the effort and the time and the touring. Like, they do crazy stuff.
Have you ever played the Grange in Concord?
No,
it's like
I don't.
Have you seen the Grange, Ash? It's like a tiny little church place in Concord.
Pictures. I'm used to the Grange in Newburgh, New York, where I'm originally from.
It's tiny, like it looks like a church, but it's way too small to even have been a church.
Which is insane that Haywire played there. I was supposed to go to
that show was insane. But we played there with Slam Witch, and that was also insane. In that tiny little room.
I'm not surprised.
Okay.
That was sick.
That is wild.
Yeah, they're incredible. Really,
I'm so excited to go to all the shows with my car. I'm so excited.
Yeah. It's that's really cool that you guys got to experience that. Even the shows that got canceled, like the fact that you got to experience all of that, just in general, like is
we did the travel, we did the Planet Fitness showers, we did the everything, we did
it. Yeah, exactly. You got your feet wet in that specific, general.
And you're still a band. You came out a bit closer and still a band.
Exactly.
And we have best buddies in Devitalize now. So
yeah, exactly. Cool. It's definitely an experience. You've, cut your teeth a little bit. You started to kind of make, you know what I mean? Like you did the dirty a little bit there,
like can tell us we didn't.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And
Billy was sleeping on the floor of the RV on a blow up mattress.
That's awesome.
Until Johnny left, and then he got to take his spot.
Right. But still, like you went through that. That's awesome. Nice.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
That brings us to our final question. What's next for Voluntary Victim and Echoes Fade?
Echoes Fade is getting back on the tracks. We're like pushing the train from behind like this. We got new members. We've got a couple of shows lined up. We're trying to get some more songs out, but nothing solid yet. We're just getting back to it because we kind of ended last year. We played one show at the end of the year just to end the year, but we didn't really do much last year just because VV had all kinds of stuff going on. And Chance in The Last King, they lost Brett. So he's got like a ton of shit going on with The Last King because he's the only guitar player right now.
Oof.
How do you manage 2 Chances in one band?
The good thing is in that band, most of the members call me Hammer. That's where Hammer comes from. So the drummer of Echoes Fade is my best friend in general, like just in life in general.
Yeah.
He just one day randomly started calling me Hammer.
That's
and
funny.
I was just like, I like that, and I took it.
It clicks.
You know? So they usually call me that, and that differentiates us.
The two of you. That makes sense.
And then Voluntary Victim has very exciting stuff going on. We just released our first teaser for the rollout for our new song. I'm not going to give you the date yet, but
that's fine.
It's going to be really sick, and it has a cool feature on it. So It's going to be cool. We have a video done by Billy, our drummer. He did a killer job on it. Everything's recorded by him. No stock footage, nothing. Super sick.
Nice.
We just put up a big black background in his garage and like filmed us just playing. It's just a basic cool video. And then we play April 19th with Euclid at Bad Burger. That's our next show.
Insane.
And we got more songs coming, like probably a couple months after. We're just working on videos and stuff for that stuff. But we want to get that one out because we're very wicked excited. And obviously we only put out Anti-Savior last year, which one song in a year is not smart, but
you're still releasing something.
And we played shows and we did the tour, so
you're building the momentum to now release the music that you've built the fans for.
Exactly. And like that was the best thing we got from tours. There's a bunch of people that from places we played, they've bought merch, they've followed us, all that stuff. So all those people that we didn't know before now know who we are, and they're going to see our song when it comes out. So it's just everything's going to snowball. I'm excited.
It definitely takes a minute to kind of like push all of that forward, like you said, like the fact that you went on tour, I would assume gained a decent amount of followers and new people that are listening to your music, even though you released one song, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it definitely builds that momentum. People will see what you've released, and hopefully that will, then in turn kind of make that, that change, that push, so
we're very excited.
Nice. That's awesome. That's always a fun push, is once you put out new music. We're in the process. We've got 5 or 6 songs. We're kind of doing the same thing. Like we've got some stuff situated. We got to get in and record it and push it out. But it's definitely, I would say, the more fun part about it is like getting that anticipation.
Behind the scenes is the best part, unfortunately. Usually, all the creating. Everybody throwing ideas back and forth and building something out of the mind of 4 people it's just fun.
And being able to put it all together, figure out what you all like, you know what I mean, and then push that forward and go like, this is what we've all decided it is us.
Like when we first made the song, we made the demo and everything. I had a whole artwork, everything that I made just because I was bored or whatever. None of that is used. It's all gone. It's just like we did the video and then my whole idea changed. I used pieces from the video for the art and everything just changed. So it's like nothing's ever set in stone. It's always just a flow.
Exactly.
Until you hit a point where you go, we've heard this song enough and we don't want to hear it anymore. We need to put it out. I don't want to hear this song anymore.
Yes, everyone else can now hear it. I am done.
This is over.
We listen to it like 300 times before it comes out. And it's like, you just need other people to hear this.
I was gonna say that's sometimes that's like the worst part where you're like, I've heard this song so much, I don't even want to release it. Like, not that it's bad. It's just you've listened to it so much.
And you think it's bad because you're overthinking.
I put it out, now I have to play it, and then I have to play it for whoever knows how long.
Right, exactly. But like, but then like there are some songs that we released. Like there's a song that we released on our last EP that was like my 4th favorite song out of 5, and now I play it and I'm like, it might be my 2nd favorite song to play. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You kind of like, it's interesting to kind of once you start playing the set and you kind of intertwine your old songs with your new songs, or whatever, you kind of get a like a secondary love. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, like actually I really like playing this song. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know. So
crowd reaction has a lot to do with it for me too. It's like,
for sure.
There was a song on our EP, Eden's Gate. I love that song. Like the recording of it, when we played it, I thought it was super heavy, but like it just never like got energy or anything. Like it always felt like a lull in the set. And then we finally got rid of it. And I'm like, the set feels so much better because there's not just this song where everybody's just like
chilling. Okay. Yeah, like waiting for the next. Yeah.
I don't know what it was about that song. I love that song, but it just didn't have the live energy
hit with people. Yeah.
And it made me not want to play it anymore. I'm like, I'm sick of playing this song.
Yeah,
you're ruining it for me. Yeah.
Billy, he's like, I don't ever want to play this song again. But the rest of the band were like, that song's so fun to play live, and Billy's just like, I'm done with it.
It definitely happens. There's some songs that we have that are the exact same thing. Like Kyle, my guitar player, is like, I freaking wrote this song 6 years ago and I fucking hate it. I don't want to play it. And I'm like, it's fun though. Like, I don't know. Like, I enjoy playing it. Like,
the only one we've played for a real long time that I don't think any of us are sick of playing yet is Ego Chick. That one we love playing.
Yeah. There's some, sometimes there's a song that is, we have a specific song that we play that's like, we've always played, and it's like none of us get sick of playing it. You know what I mean?
Every band finds that song that, one, it's usually your most popular, and two, everybody just doesn't care about playing it. It just ends up in your set for almost forever, unless we totally change genres.
Yeah. We have like our one song that I don't think I'll ever get sick of playing is Lacerations. So like Lacerations, we put a video out for it, and it's like probably like either our best song or our second best song that we've recorded so far. And it's like I never get tired of playing that song. Like as soon as the intro comes on, I'm like, yep, cool, awesome, I get to play this song, this is fun. I'm like, play all the way through it, and I'm like, I fucking love this song. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I'm feeling that way about the new ones. That's why I'm excited, because we've had them written for like probably a year now.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like we're finally putting them out, and they're my favorite to play live in the set right now currently. So
yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah, we've got some songs that we've had. There's 2 songs that are probably 2 to 3 years old that we haven't put out, and I'm like, can we please record these?
I have songs like personally on the back burner. One of them is going to end up being an Echoes Fade song that I've had for 5 years that I wrote as a solo song and just never put out. And I absolutely love that song. I'm like, I refuse to put it out half-assed. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna leave it here until I have the capacity to put it out correctly.
Yeah.
I refuse to let it just be like a crappy release.
Yeah. We have a couple songs that like almost made the last EP, but we decided not to and kind of like shucked them off to do 2 other ones or whatever. But it's like now that we've written other songs, it's like, okay, that kind of fits with what we're doing here. So maybe it's a good time to release those. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like just a delayed gratification for us
I
to be
tell
like,
them all the
okay,
time. They
now
get
this
mad at
works.
me because they're like, "We're gonna record this new song." I'm like, "You do remember that we have like 2 that we haven't finished that we already started?"
Right.
And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "I keep track of everything that we do.
Yeah, this song
I'm
and this
never
song.
throwing away anything. So
Yeah.
like, we gotta finish these at some point."
Yeah.
Mhm.
It happens. It definitely happens. There's no doubt.
They just get excited over the new idea and they just totally forget about the old idea. And I'm like, it was still a good idea. Just because there's a new shiny idea doesn't make the old idea a bad idea.
Doesn't mean this is bad. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, that definitely happens for sure. There's like I said, there's I think yeah, 2 songs that we have that are exactly that. Like they were old ideas and like kind of brush them back up and we're like, "Oh shit, yeah, those were awesome." Like yeah, we should probably use those, you know what I mean? Like
I always
so
describe it and they're always like, I don't remember. It can't be that good. And then I play it and they're like, oh, yeah, no, that was pretty good. I'm like, that's why I kept it.
exactly.
Why it's still here.
We actually need to use this. That's awesome. That's awesome.
One of my favorite things about them is they don't play much that's like bad.
Yeah.
Most of what they play, I'm like, this is passable.
Yeah.
Like never play anything. I'm like, nope, throw that away.
Nope.
Yeah. I'll say that's typically we're within that wheelhouse. There's a couple songs that we've kind of like definitely passed by that like we'll not end up using, but not because they were bad, just it's I don't know, like if bands kind of, you know, have their initial sound and then we start to kind of move on and then if you look back at a couple songs, it's like that one just isn't where we're at. And you know what I mean? And I don't want to retract just to be able to pull that song into something where we're not at. You know what I mean? But yeah, it depends. It really depends. I'm never, you know, not a fan of some songs we've written that's like it could work in the you know the future. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there might be a song where it's like, oh, we wrote that 3 years ago, but like it could work now instead of a year ago when we released everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like I don't fully let go of something unless it's really not, you know, something that we're gonna do. You know,
I remember there was one time, it was Anger the Hive, actually, the song that has Cody from Richard Tongues on it. They were like, we wrote it, and then they wrote a couple more shiny ideas, like I said. And I'm like, what happened to this catchy ass riff that we had, this song that we had? And they're like, we got sick of it. I don't know. It's just too repetitive. I'm like, that's the catchiest song we have. What are we doing? And I convinced them, I'm like, I don't care. I wrote lyrics to it. We're doing it. And they're like, I'm like,
Twist my
you,
arm. Yeah.
you may think it's annoying now, but watch when it comes out. You're gonna love it. And
Yeah.
now they love playing that song. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's fun. I'm telling you, it's a fun riff and it's catchy.
Yeah, it happens. Trust me, it definitely
You
happens.
listen to something for 3 months straight, and you're like, I don't like this anymore.
Yeah,
I don't blame them at all.
Yeah,
But I tend to like. Thankfully, I don't really. It doesn't happen to me often.
Yeah.
Where I hear an idea and I'm like, I don't want to hear that anymore. If I think it's good, I'll play this. You can play the same riff 100 times and I'll still like it. You know.
Yeah. I'll say if a riff is good enough, it holds itself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's very hard. It's the same thing for me. If like there's a riff where I'm like, that's a hard ass riff. Like that sounds sick. Like it would be very hard for me to just be like, yeah, we'll push that off. Like no, like
we were writing a new song like literally yesterday at practice, and Frank had this sick riff, and I'm like, that's one of my favorite riffs you ever written. and then they changed it and put like a break in it, and I was like, I love you all, and that's sick, and we can use that, but that riff has to be played the way that I heard it originally, or I'm like very upset.
Yeah.
So we brought it back later in the song the way that it was originally played, and I'm like, okay, I'm happy, we're good.
I'm consenting again.
I'm like, I had my heart set on that riff. Don't take that away from me.
Yeah, do not take that away from me. That's funny. That's awesome. Yeah, it's you know, writing is always a fun process. It can be incredibly stressful, but you know, if one person in the band sees something, it's like you should kind of pay a little bit of attention, even if you don't like it. If someone sees something in it, you should give it a little bit more attention
That's
and
like
and
we've
see
really
what it
learned
can come
that
up with.
recently. Like we had trouble where people would get real aggravated. They'd be like, I feel like I said this 100 times and we haven't tried it, and I'm mad.
Yeah.
We're like, if somebody says something, we're gonna try it at least once before we leave the garage.
Exactly.
If we don't like it afterwards, fine. But
Yep.
don't just brush it off. We gotta try it.
Try it once, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why they tried it. I'm like, I like it. It's good. But I like it the way it was better.
How you originally
so
did.
let's do that.
But the song came out super sick. We all got the parts we wanted and put them all together, and it came out sick.
Nice.
And once you get a product that everybody's happy with, and they play it, and it's perfect, and they're like, everybody's excited, so everything goes away. Any doubt there was immediately goes away once the song sounds the way you want it to sound.
For sure. For sure.
The best feeling.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. That's awesome. Cool. Sweet. That's all 5 questions we have for you, Chance. Really appreciate you coming on and having this time with us. It's been great. Definitely learning a lot more about your band and just the general dynamics of how you guys work. It's really cool to learn more about that, especially with how my band works and how all the other bands that we've interviewed and talked to work. It's really cool to kind of just, I don't know, get all that information together and learn more. So it's really cool. Super excited for you guys' new stuff that will eventually come out.
Thank you. Appreciate
that. Will be fun.
Well.
Definitely want to play another show with you, because we have played a show with you, which I for some reason did not remember. But that's okay. So
I don't
we'll definitely make that happen. But yeah, really appreciate you coming on. Definitely looking forward to everything that you're doing in the future, with every endeavor that you're in. And yeah, that's going to be the end of episode 27. Second episode in a week, which will be fun. We'll release both of those back to back, so hopefully you all listen to that.
Hell yeah, listen to the Soul Mirror one. They're cool.
Exactly. Yeah, Soul Mirror will come out Thursday. This will be Friday if you're all listening. So
go back and listen if you didn't.
Exactly. Exactly. Make a double listen for both. And appreciate you all checking out the podcast. Definitely go check out Voluntary Victim Echoes Fade, and anything that Chance is doing, and anything that Soul Mirror is doing as well, going back an episode. But yeah, hope to see you all next week for our next episode, and hope you all have a great rest of the night, and we'll catch you guys later. So thank you so much. Have a great night. See ya.